Hello, this is Erin with the Joy in Pens and Paper, and I just wrapped up the Diamine Ink Vent series. If you watched it, thank you so much. There were a number of you that watched what seemed to be every single video, and you commented, and a few even gave these really poetic descriptions of the ink, and I really enjoyed that. So thank you so much. If you haven't seen those and you're interested, please feel free to go back and watch those. For today, I'm going to do an unboxing and a first inking up of the Christmas gift that I got this year. So my kind of primary gift was a fountain pen, and it was a fountain pen that went on sale on Black Friday. So let me pull out the box. It is the Leonardo and Stilo & Steel collaboration, and it's a pen called Kintsugi. And this pen represents in the old art of repairing ceramics, where gold was used to repair a broken or cracked ceramic, which then in kind of hindsight led to this work of art, this really beautiful ceramic piece. And that then developed this Kintsugi mentality that there's beauty in the cracks, there's beauty in the imperfections. And so what Leonardo and Stilo & Steel did is they used, I always blank on this, gold, I want to say flakes, but I don't think it's flakes. But the gold that you use, or that is spoken about being used when cooking at like a very fancy restaurant, they might put gold on the top of a steak or something like that. So this pen is a transparent pen, but in the acrylic is all these little flakes. Flakes of gold. And it's really cool. As I looked at it many times yesterday, it's very interesting. You can see in the thickness of the clear acrylic, you can see these pieces of gold kind of floating in there. And it's just really, really, really pretty. I love the concept. I agree with the concept. I do think there's beauty in imperfections. As long as you take the imperfection, or you take the challenge and you make something of it. So here's my little Leonardo charm. And I love those. You can see I did not take it out of the plastic sleeve, which it did come in, because I unboxed it and looked at it many times yesterday. This is a Momento Zero, and it has the blind cap here. So inside is a converter, and you can fill it by dipping the nib in ink and then screwing the blind cap here. Or you can disassemble it as you typically would. I'm just going to get this into a filling position before I put the cap back on. You can fill it as you typically would by removing the barrel, and then you've got the same. You could also, and it's a screw converter, which I love. That's almost my new favorite thing. So there's this, the converter, you can also dip that in the ink and twist the gold piece right here. And you can also syringe fill. So there's a number of different ways. I think I'm going to use the blind cap method to fill. This pen, I did get it in the 14 karat gold. I really love the Leonardo Momento Zero size, shape, weight, everything I really love. The first Leonardo pen that I purchased was the Momento Zero Grande 2.0, and that one has a piston fill, and it has a 14 karat gold fine elastic flex nib, which is lovely, and I've enjoyed writing with it. But I really wanted to try a non-elastic nib. For Fountain Pen Day, I got my second Leonardo, and that one has a steel fine nib. And I still was questioning, what would the extra fine nib be like? Now I'm second guessing myself. Yes, it was a fine. Sorry, I looked right here. It was a fine nib. So I still wanted to experience a Leonardo extra fine nib. And then I thought, for the price difference, and given it was going to be a Christmas gift and I had budgeted for a gift in this price point, after the discount that was available Black Friday, this was $292, which for a gold nib, I think is a relatively reasonable price given some of the other pens on the market at this quality level, brand name level, etc. So I got a extra fine gold nib, and I am so thrilled to ink it up and try it out, because I have this belief what it's going to be like as an experience. So without further ado, I do have some water that I'm just going to do a quick nib flush with, just in case there's any residual filaments, particles, etc. In my experience, I haven't noted any ink that comes out of the nib when I've purchased a Leonardo, so I don't think that they test every single nib in the same way as perhaps a Lamy does, or when you get a Lamy, at least the Lamy 2000, when you rinse out the nib, you will have blue ink that comes out. All right, so I did 3 flushes. That should be nice and rinsed. I have my junky white t-shirt. I'm just going to rest that on so it pulls out any extra water. And then, in light of the ink vent calendar, I also am picturing using this as kind of an everyday carry with a case, well taken care of, and having a black ink in it so that I can write across a variety of mediums. And so I am going to ink this up with the final ink from the Diamine Ink Event Calendar, which is Good Tidings. I was really hopeful that the final ink would be in the black family because the box was black. And I was very pleasantly, I guess, surprised to have that be accurate. But this ink, I've seen other content creators who have used this in more of an artistic way with painting and drawing and such. And when they add a little bit of water and it has an opportunity to spread out, which gives you a little bit of the chromatography of this ink, not the full chromatography, but just the opportunity to see some of the base colors in there. There's a lot of colors in this ink. There's blue, there's purple, then you've got the green sheen, and it's just a really lovely ink. But because it's not a shimmer, I thought it would be a good ink to try in the extra fine. Sometimes a sheen can get a bit more dryness to the nib in my experience. And I will say sheening inks are a limited experience for me, primarily because after I write on a page, if I then am writing on another page and I rest the side of my hand on some dried ink from perhaps the day before, I'll end up with the shadow of what I wrote on the side of my hand. And I only really have experienced that with sheening inks. But one of the inks I used in my December Currently Inked, which you can also watch that video, Zen of the Pen gave me some directions for how to link cards. So I have that, but I haven't tried it yet. Eventually I might be able to link it, up here in the corner. Not for today's video though. Yes, so the pen that I had inked up this month had a really good sheen to it. And perhaps because I've also learned how to use blotting paper, and perhaps because I'm a bit more mindful of it, I have had a good experience with that pen and ink combination this month. I will be having a video coming out soon for my December pen and ink review. I am running out of days in December, and I have a couple of things that I want to push out before January 1st. So my trend of daily videos in December will likely continue. But I've had this bottle opened so that I don't inadvertently knock it over. I'm going to go ahead and put this pen right on in there. And we're going to get some of that ink. Now, I always make a big old mess when I ink up a pen this way. I do like inking up a pen using that method because then I don't have to have additional tools like a syringe, but it does make a bit of a mess. Easily cleaned. So I'm just going around the barrel. I'm going to get a little bit of the lip. But if this t-shirt touches the nib or the feet at all, it really sucks up a lot of that ink. Let me just wipe off the nib a little bit. Right there. Okay. Beautiful. Oh, and nothing on my hands. That's so great. There's a little bit of ink right here in the threads, but that'll be a problem for after this video. Now, I'm not going to do a size comparison video because this is a Momento Zero, and it's the same as the Leonardo that I unboxed with my Fountain Pen Day purchases. And so you can go back and see that one. All right, so in my Galen Leather Co. Everyday Notebook, which is very close to being finished, I will be transitioning into a new notebook for the for 2025, but I'm going to use this one now. You might be able to hear in my voice I have a little bit of a cold. I've got the holiday season crash, and that's okay. So I'm going to film this video and then do a little bit of resting today. Yeah, so I can recover before the new year. All right, so let me just make sure Oh, the other thing, I just wanted to throw this out there while I'm thinking of it, but on the cap, let me see if this will help. Not really, you probably can't see it, but it says 187 under Stilo and Steel, which makes me think this is a numbered pen, but it doesn't have an out of so many. They are releasing another batch, another round of these pens, which I was looking at the website yesterday. If you order now, it's a pre-order, but they're planning to have those orders ship out the end of January. Okay. Oh, here it is the first time. There is a piece of something right on the tip. There it is. A little string, probably from the t-shirt. Okay, let's try that again. It's got nice feedback to it. It is not as super fine as, say, a Platinum or a Pilot, but this is a really nice line width for what I was hoping for. And for a 14 karat nib, it's got some stiffness to it. And when I think about it compared to the fine steel nib, the fine steel nib does have a smoothness around the tipping, so it does write like butter, so to speak. This one has a little sliciness to it, which I am really enjoying. So this is inked with Diamine Ink Vent 2025. Good Tidings. This ink flows really well in this nib. I love the feedback. And there's a little bit of softness. So with a gold nib, it has a bit more give than a steel nib. So with a tiny bit of pressure, you can get some line variation. Not significant, but it is there. Just a little bit there, which is really nice. All right, so that is my Christmas gift for 2025 is this beauty. Again, this is the Leonardo Kintsugi, which represents beauty in the cracks, beauty in the mistakes, beauty in the whoopsies. Thank you for watching, and if you're not subscribed, please take a moment and hit that subscribe button. That way, when I post new videos, you will get notified. It also just generally shows your support of the channel. And stick around because I've got a few more videos to wrap up this year, and I'm really excited to spend this time with you between the holidays. So with that, I'm going to sign off and I hope to see you in my next one. Bye.